are here. Welcome to another week of the Hideout. Super stoked. Like I said, I was posting about it all week long. We have rumors going galore coming out of Hollywood for the Marvel movies, everything that's coming out, that Venom, the Venom trailer, everything. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the craziness that we're getting out of there. And then if we get a chance, we're going to talk about My Hero. There was 2 episodes, I want to say, that came out.
I think so.
Because I was tripping. I was like, I normally missed 1 week, and there was 2 this time. So we'll see. If we get there, we'll get there. Again, we do have obligations afterwards that we have to hop out of, so let's get started. Matter of fact, you said you want to discuss which one's the first, what were the first ones you wanted to talk about?
I think the one that bothers me the most is the Venom movie.
Okay.
With Noel.
Okay. So where are we falling off now? So what were you thinking was gonna be the villain?
Honestly, I would have given anybody else but Noel.
And that's what I saw everywhere on the comments.
I was like, don't give me Noel, dude.
Bro.
You know what bothers me more about it is Noel is kind of newer. He's more recently introduced as the god of the symbiotes.
Okay, I didn't know that.
He's the creator of every symbiote out there. Okay. Everything originated from him, because before there was light, there was him. It's kind of like the Dark Elves from Thor.
Okay.
But he's freaking... It says it in the name, the god of the symbiotes. He's freaking god. And then y'all want to put him as Venom?
At the ending of the trilogy,
yes.
There was comments saying that if he would have been introduced on the first one, showing that he was going to be the big bad, and that he was sending Carnage. The second movie, he's like, hey, you need to go get this guy. You need to go get. Or
at least sending somebody. And then finally, when he at this last movie busts with Thanos, I'll do it myself. Yeah. Okay, I would have felt a little bit better with that, but even still, it's just.
So a lot of people were pissed. Everyone was like, dude, Noel is a Thanos level threat. No, that is way beyond Venom and Spider-Man's capabilities.
Dude, and you know what? While you're talking, I'm gonna try to look up this picture, because I remember reading some of Venom fights Noel in the newer comic. There's this one picture, and I need to show. I'm gonna find this so you can keep talking. But there's this one picture I want to show you that I was like, dude, this is how much he has to do to reach Noel. But I'm gonna try to find it.
So yeah, guys, Noel was introduced. It was and another rumor, or it is confirmed. Norman Reedus from The Walking Dead is actually Noel. So I'm down. I feel like he can give the character its depth that he needs. But again, Noel was a shock to almost everyone. No one saw Noel coming into play.
No.
So
there was no hints or anything.
Nothing. So the next rumor is that they think there is gonna be a multiverse crossover between the Sony and MCU. Yeah. So they're saying Noel is going to be a big bad in the Spider-Man movies. But then it goes back to everyone hating on that idea. They were saying they were excited for the street level Spider-Man. Yeah. They were excited for Daredevil team-ups, Punisher team-ups, who was the other one? Someone else that they wanted Spider-Man to team up with that were street level, you know what I mean? And so everyone was down. Everyone was like, okay, that's a more believable story. Now you got Noel that's going to cross over Venom into the Spider-Man, because apparently that's another rumor. Guys, I'm telling you, the rumor reel is spinning. Literally the title says. So Tom Holland is apparently going to make an appearance in either a mid-credit and or post-credit scene in the Venom, because Venom needs Spider-Man's abilities to go against Noel. That's the plot. Where it's
going. Know what? That's another thing. Now that you mention it, I can't find the picture. I can't find the picture. I don't know. It's bothering me. But that's another thing, because Venom's whole thing is trying to hook back up with Spider-Man in the comics for the most part, until he's settles with Brock, because he always pictured Spider-Man as his ideal host. He doesn't have any of the abilities, the webs, or the being invisible to spider sense, or he has the wall climbing because he sticks his tentacle stuff. Yeah, his goo stuff. But in the comics, it came from being attached to Spider-Man. He developed those powers because of it. So it just like it feels weird with a Venom without Spider-Man.
And that's what again I was trying to explain to Bree was all these solo villain movies that they put out are Spider-Man villains, you know, and then we talked about that Sony's using up these arcs to not be able to be used in the MCU.
Yep.
And she was like, so what's the point? I was like, because they don't want MCU to have them.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I see it. You know what I mean?
Not
like,
just that.
You don't have a Kraven without a Spider-Man. Like, why would you even have a Kraven solo movie?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Kraven didn't come in till he found out Spider-Man was a thing, and he's like, I need that in my collection.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So what's the basis of his past mean anything to you? You know, now we lose Rhino because he's going against Rhino in the movie. So I don't know, man. Like, so they really messed up that whole.
It's not. I think it's half of them. They don't want Marvel to have them, but the other half is if you want them, you have to come through us. So
pay us our dividends, and you know we'll let
allow you to use it. It's ours,
and I hate it, dude.
You're borrowing.
They have that control, and then and they're not going to lose their cash cow Spider-Man ever. I don't see anything coming up into play that MCU could ever purchase the rights to Spider-Man.
The only way they could do that is if Disney pulls their weight, but that
buy Sony
out. dude, that's craziness right there.
Dude, you imagine, bro? In 10
I would
years,
not
10,
like
15
that.
years, like just freaking they own everything.
Because that means they would own PlayStation too.
Yeah,
I don't like that idea.
Oh, okay, you're right. But so yeah, man, like. Guys, this Venom movie is turning out to be a huge thing. But the thing is all these rumors came after that third installment trailer that came out.
Yeah.
So very upsetting, you know, because of all that literally Noel came out. Boom! Rumor mill just started. Like Norman Reedus got confirmed. The symbiote this. They're gonna be a crossover with Spider-Man. There's gonna be Tom Holland. I was just like, okay, so it took the third trailer of Venom to come out for all this information to just be released. Like, what the heck? You know what I mean? So I don't know. It was interesting. It was very interesting to see. I'm here for it. I'm down. Again, we've been let down. We're already hurt. We're already in the dirt. Just give it to me. Just let me watch a movie. Let me see what happens. Like, you know what I mean?
They could have done anything. They could have had Carnage.
Everyone was ripping that apart.
What happened to Carnage?
I don't even remember the movie. I honestly, I barely, vaguely remember at the very end, he's in a containment thing, and he's whatever, he has the symbiote in him. It's all I remember. I honestly, I'm going to be 100% honest, I don't remember that movie at all.
I don't remember that movie at all, which is kind of goes to show that it was not a great movie.
Yeah.
But I remember Carnage in the comics. Again, comics have so many different times, so I don't know which one is
portrayed.
Correct.
Yeah, the portrayed one.
But I always remember Carnage and Cletus Cassidy being together because a lot of people picked up on it, but I always liked it too because Venom's one of my favorite characters. But it's always we are Venom. We decide to do this. But Carnage is always I am Carnage. Because Cletus and Carnage don't separate themselves. They're one. Venom and Brock are separate entities. And they are aware of each other. They coexist. Carnage was born...
Took over homie's mind? Like
in the comics, Carnage... You know how Venom's like the goo type stuff? The symbiote? Carnage went directly into Cletus's bloodstream. So he is Cletus,
DNA.
And Cletus is Carnage. So they're one and the same. And that's why their powers are a bit like, they look more blood-based.
Okay.
And Carnage gets crazy. Like,
it's Carnage, and who's the one with the blades that they were both scared of?
Oh my gosh, why am I blanking on it?
Rampage? No.
Riot.
So
Riot. Then you have Scream.
Mm-hmm. That's the green one.
Which is all stupid because all of those are actually children of Venom and or Carnage. And I'm just like, you're having them be something else. And then that's another thing too, because now Noel is the creator of all symbiotes, and the symbiotes can have their own babies. But then Noel sent these other creations down. Possibly, no, maybe no. They were coming after
the ones that were in the
first.
Yeah,
they were looking after for Venom originally. So I'm like, I don't know. It's this upsetting franchise right now. If anything, I would not mind Hardy coming back to voice Venom for another, like, if MCU gets him. I wouldn't mind coming because I kind of like his Venom voice. Okay. It's kind of grown on me. When I first heard that, I was like, what the fuck is this shit? But yeah, it kind of grew on me. But okay. Yeah, like.
And a lot of people like Tom Hardy's Eddie Brock. Yeah. Like, they were like, that is comic book, textbook Eddie Brock. Like, just completely unaware, just the big dummy, you know.
Yeah,
like
he's kind of like, whatever. Like, what the fuck is this?
So I was like, I didn't know that. So, you know, I thought the comedic relief wasn't, it was installed by the Sony, but they were like, that's a part of the comic. So I was like, interesting. I was like, cool. So let's see here. Let us look back at our rumor thing here. But yeah, mail. So a lot of stuff coming from that Venom. We'll see how that goes. But right into staying with Marvel. Again, it's mainly Marvel today. I think all Marvel. This one, what threw me off, I literally said, say what? They're in talks, Marvel, on canceling either Blade or Armor Wars. So
they said for budgetary reasons.
For budgetary reasons, I was like, hold up. Like, see these reveals that they're doing. I think they're hurting themselves because we, in the end, we give up and we're like, screw it. We'll see what they do, and then you want to wish wash it at the very end. Like, you know what I mean? Like, who knows if they even started? What if they started like filming and now it's done? Like, all those people lost their job, all that wasted camera, all that wasted millions. Like, what?
At this point, if I had to choose, y'all already ripped the rug out from Armor Wars once from a series to a movie. Do it again, just get rid of it all.
Just get rid of it all.
Because first off, I'm not sure how people feel about Ironheart. Second, I don't think Gwyneth Paltrow is going to come back for her part.
So. She never was really into it either.
No. Like, third, what's his name?
Spider-Man?
War Machine.
Oh, yeah, War Machine.
War Machine is found out to be a Skrull. So now you're going to have the other War Machine take over and have this gap of time, which that's like the only interesting part of this movie at this moment for me. And he's going to be trying to fight the government from taking over basically Iron Man 2.
And believe it or not, I will post this later, guys. It was Screen Rant posted the top, the worst MCU movies rated from worst to best. Okay. There's like 37, I think, and Iron Man 2 is number 36. It's literally like
Iron Man 2 is kind of harsh. Although 3 was kind of bad too.
Yeah, it was crazy again. Yeah. We had that one fire thing with the extremist virus and all that stuff. We don't know what all that was left in the blue there. Just, I don't know.
Because I'm like, the extremist in the comics was different. And then also that was when you were introduced to the 10 Rings. The Mandarin.
The real one this time. Find out that it was a joke. Yeah.
I was just like, dude, like, there was so many.
We rewatched that because she was like wondering what the rings were going to do. She rewatched Shang-Chi and stuff. And she's like, are they bringing him back? It says 10 Rings will be back. I was like, and that's one of the next rumors we'll talk about here in a minute. But Blade. You'll keep Blade over Armor Wars.
I'll keep Blade over Armor Wars.
I would say the same thing. Brie was wanting a dark concept in the MCU, and I told her we can get it. It was given to us with Werewolf by Night, and I told that to her, and I was like, Werewolf by Night was its first like special presentation, but it gave us the darker tones, and all those things were MCU characters, and she was like, what? And I was like, yeah, I mean, Man Thing, etc., whatever, right? And so I told her that right there exploded the dark verse. Like, if you can give us something dark, we're going to enjoy it. You know what I mean? I truly think so. So bringing vampires, werewolves, all that into the realms, you have now, you have something to release every October or something. You know what I mean? Like a spook film or something like that can come out. Like, you got werewolves, not vampires, Blade. I mean,
even if you wanted to make it like a series, you have a whole year to film everything else and then pump out a whole new series. And it doesn't even have to be a following. It could be 3 different, seasons that technically don't have anything to do with each other, but they all take place within the same type of universe, and they're all gonna culminate to something together.
Got it.
Like, you could do something like that.
Yeah, and I think they should. I think they should stick the route with Blade.
Especially if they're considering Midnight Suns too.
Yeah, Midnight Suns. I mean, because I think Hugh Jackman will be here till he's 90. So, he might be sticking around maybe because did you read that rumor that they were already in talks for a Deadpool and Wolverine 2 or something like that? Like it was like a quick little thing that I saw. I don't know how true that was, but it was too soon. It has the money, so the money's there. They can't say it wasn't successful, so that's based off of that.
But there's oversaturation too.
Yeah,
like don't come with it just because it made money.
And that's where we're at. That's why we are with what's going on with MCU.
No, for real.
But Blade, yes. And then again, we have that concept that came through our feed, which is Marshala Ali and or Wesley Snipes might be the Blade.
Wesley Snipes.
We got to vote for Wesley Snipes. And so, yeah, guys, that is going to be interesting. We got that coming up. That's way in the future. I think again, there's been screen tests. There's been no, I don't think there's screen tests. I'm lying. They're still in the writing, and Marshala Ali had hated the script. They wiped the board of the writers, got new writers, new director. I mean, Blade is a very controversial film right now. And then again, what I hate is that they go do those promos, wear the freaking hat and do the thing and make a big announcement and we're bringing and then hey, we're gonna ixnay the show, by the way. We're not bringing Blade.
They said, hey, go back on YouTube and delete it all.
Yeah, exactly. Kevin Feige, the robot's deleting all freaking traces of them ever having that out. You know what I mean?
They're gonna show the picture of everything they said they had out and like black out everything else.
Exactly. So guys, it's crazy. It's crazy. But speaking on the holiday theme and what we were talking about, Agatha has actually got a pretty interesting schedule. So it is starting on September 18th, next Wednesday. So again, tune into the show. We'll definitely be covering it and how we think about it. It's going to be pretty cool because the first week is going to have 2 episodes. So we'll be able to discuss 2 episodes. And then it'll be a weekly episode after that, all the way up until October 30th. So it's a witch show, Hocus Pocus, etc. And on October 30th, it's going to have a 2-episode finale, 8 and 9. So I'm pretty interested. It's cool. An interesting schedule. Yeah. So I like it. I see what they're doing. But right what we were talking about, on the hype train, like everyone loved Agatha. Everyone was all about Agatha. And next thing you know, Agatha got a show. And we're like, Who is Agatha? Every comic person that doesn't really know the lore, which is me, I will read the lore when it comes out. You know what I mean? But I was like, Agatha? I knew I had to research, and I did when she was on WandaVision and stuff, you know what I mean? But when it got her own show, that's when it really was like, okay, so
you're like, who is she for real?
Who is she for real? So Kara, apparently she's a big thing in the WandaVision lore, so the whole witches side. So again, if they can do it right, we can get witches into this, spells and all that stuff. Which will fit
more with Blade too.
More Blade, exactly. So let's hope that they do right. They got a pretty good cast. I saw the mom from that 70s show.
Oh yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Kitty's in there. I think I don't know her witch's name. Agatha, and then we have what's her name from Parks and Recreation.
Yes.
I blanked on her name. She's gonna be in it. She'll be, I think, Harkness's
protege type person.
Is it? I think she's like her antagonist, but not the antagonist. I don't know, trying to bring the real Agatha out, trying to find who the Agatha is, I guess. But what do you think? What do you think about the show? Are you?
I'm excited for it only because I did like Agatha in WandaVision, and the little bit I do know about it, because I don't know this character that well, guys. It was the little bit I do know. I was like, it was enough for me to be intrigued, and I do like how she basically she absorbs the power from the others to make herself strong too. And I would love to learn this whole witch side of things, because she was taught how to use magic and everything, where Wanda was naturally it was innate. It was just part of her. So
she was shocked. She was like, you don't even know anything about spells. She had to teach her, you were locked in, you would figure, you know what I mean? So she was genuinely shocked, So I'm excited again because then the spells went further into what is it? Into Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. You know, because Wong noticed, hey, you noticed the what is it, the hieroglyphs or the writings in the spells, and he's like, oh, I did. He's like, it's a spell. You know what I mean? It's contained. The monster is a spell. And I was like, so, you know, again, I would be freaking cool to, you know, delve into the witchcraft and spells and all that stuff. Besides the, I was gonna say the Ministry of Magic. Besides, you know, what do they call it? Oh my God, the Sorcerer Supremes. You know, the sorcerers. You know, so
Karmatage.
Karmatage. I was gonna say freaking Sorcerer Magic. Jesus. But yeah, so that one's gonna be a Halloween themed show. I'm excited. It's gonna be on the days Wednesdays at 6, and then again we'll cover. I'm hoping to get in the real game. I'm learning all the apps. I got some tips and tricks from some friends. So I'm hoping that we can get into that. So if anything, we'll have some reels and then we'll discuss it on Saturday. You know. Yeah. So, but the next rumor on the board leads into what we were discussing just a while ago, which is the 10 rings. So if y'all remember last, Shang-Chi saved Tai Lao and from the soul sucker, as they called it, and the big soul sucker. And so they saved the world. Tai Lao. They did all of that. Brings the rings back. They're talking. Wong comes. He is the new Nick Fury. Picks them up, takes them back to the Carmitage or wherever they went. Who knows? And they discuss the rings, and then you go on to find out in the end credit scene that these rings were way older than what his dad was, said to have been, you know, so thousands of years old, and they weren't Chitauri, they weren't vibranium, which they were just name dropping, you know, material at that time, you know what I mean? So they were just making it seem cool, which I just caught this last time. I was like, that's only two you have in this universe right now. Like, that's the only thing you got. You can't say adamantium. You couldn't say nothing else. Like, you know, now we can, because apparently that's what they said on the New World, New World Order or whatever, the new Captain America movie. They're introducing adamantium from the
Celestial.
Yep. So Tiamat, something like that. So yeah. But we find out those rings are older than 10,000 years old. But the next rumor is said to be that Miss Marvel's bracelets, Gore's daughter, which is now a part of Infinity, right? The whole shitty thing that we got out of Thor: Love and Thunder. Shang-Chi's 10 rings, America Chavez, which is she's a multiverse traveler, and Spider-Man will be key pieces for Avengers Doomsday. Why Spider-Man, you say? I think it's because of the symbiote suit. A lot of people say that the symbiote suit made its appearance the first time in Marvel's Secret Wars, the first time it ever appeared. So they're saying that that's why Spider-Man's a key character, because of Venom and the symbiote, and Noel is going to come into the Doomsday play. So they will play a similar role to the Infinity Stones in the previous saga. That's the rumor. So yeah, guys, we got a lot of unanswered questions. We got the Miss Marvel bracelet, the bangle. We got that in the show. We found the completion of the 2 on the Marvels. We now have them both. Gore's daughter, again, if you watched Love and Thunder, if you didn't make it to the end and walked out of the theater, Gore's daughter was dying. Gore gets there. He meets Infinity at the end of the, universe.
She was dead.
Was she dead?
She was dead.
She was dead. She died at the beginning of the movie. You're right. Apologies. That's how bad. So then he asks Infinity. Infinity brings his daughter back. Infinity disappears. So I'm assuming Infinity is his daughter. Okay, follow me.
Something like that.
So then Shang-Chi's 10 rings that we just
explained. What it's like? It's like Captain Marvel's gets the ability from the Tesseract. It's kind of like her abilities come from Infinity. So something similar to like absorb some of that power.
Okay, so I wonder what I need to go look up the Gore's daughter's like lore, I guess.
Yeah,
I had to know her powers maybe. But what do you think, man? What do you think about that?
It's interesting, but I don't technically like it.
I just hope they use them.
I don't even want them to use them.
What? Like, what's the purpose? Why would you give me all hype about these antique like little thingies and then just like
I'm done with it now because I'm like at this point, it just more in particularly was Love. She's the one that like throws me off the most because I don't know if you remember Guardians 2.
Okay.
When Peter and his dad is like, "Oh, here, I'll show you," and he's like seeing everything, and he's
touched
like,
him, and then he sees the guy.
Yeah, and then he's like, "Oh, I see infinity." That's the actual God, infinity. There's several gods, along with death, that created the universe.
And they were, I think, in that temple, weren't they? Like their heads, the statues, like in the background. There was a big thing that we were gonna get to see all these gods because they were in the like a hall of gods and stuff like that. Because they even showed what's his name, the Watcher. Mm-hmm. The Watcher was one of those stones and stuff.
Like when you go to open the thing for infinity, you see the 4 people along it. Those were where the infinity stones came from these beings that are like freaking powerful. And yet you want to change so many different storylines, but you want to include big names like this. Yeah. And it kind of counters what just happened previously too. And it's just like, having her around is cool, but you're giving somebody almost godlike power. Like, a lot of people are like, well, Thor's God. I'm like...
And he's still learning. I don't know how many thousands of years old. He just learned how to control, thunder and
being able to harness it, the Bifrost and everything. Like,
so you're gonna give this 8-year-old kid,
the power to control
I see what
everything.
You're saying now, man. I see what you're saying.
I'm just like, nah.
Well, I'm ready for the rings because that was I keep doing this because it's always in the forums and stuff. But I'm ready for the rings only because again, like they teased them hard in Shang-Chi, and then to get that little like it's a beacon,
it's calling something.
It's calling something. So I was like, ooh, and then to go into Quantumania, and then they were sending a signal to the quantum realm and all that stuff. Like, was it from the quantum realm, these relics, or is it a whole different dimension? Like, because then you get Miss Marvels where they have the bangles that take them into a dark dimension that's on the same side as the Earth, and just so much shit, But I'm down to get to the nitty gritty of them so they can use them right. You know what I mean? Like, not just have them there and not, I'm just scared, bro. You scared me now because I feel like they oversaturated themselves with these like relics, and now we're not going to get to see anything of them.
Also, too, like, it was a name drop for people that know, but in the first Doctor Strange, where
the staff of
the Living Tribunal is also one of those damn gods.
Yep.
You name drop these people, yet you don't have any payoff for them, but then you want to include infinity and show some of the power and be like, oh yeah, it's possible to reach these guys. And then like, now that you're mentioning it, the Bengals being able to kind of show like a different portal, a different side, the 10 rings, sending a beacon to somewhere, freaking American Chavez is a multiversal jumper. So are they sending beacons to multiverses now? Through infinity to do certain things? Like, I don't know what's going on anymore.
Using a metaphorical web like as thin as a spider web to like make it make sense. Because it doesn't make sense, but they're hoping that they can tie it together.
I'm like, nah.
God damn you, Marvel. God damn you.
I need my Deadpool idea to come true and have him just wipe out everything.
Just wipe out everything. Again, I'm down, bro. Like, we put that up as well. That was what we talked about, X-Men. So we posted on our page. We talked about it last week. They really are discussing like just a whole universal reset, starting in 2027 or 2026, and then 2027 from there on forward is the Mutant Saga. So we have the Infinity Saga all the way up into Endgame. Then we have the Multiversal Saga starting with WandaVision all the way up until who knows when. And then Secret Wars, I'm going to say. That's the definitive ends, the Secret Wars. And then, boom, the Mutant Saga will then go. But what they're saying is they're going to continue the Avengers main name as the main movie of the year, but again tying to X-Men. So we talked about it. We hope that they can get to that phase of Avengers versus X-Men or whatever.
Yeah.
But again, we discussed heavily that if they do, they
have a lot of work.
I was about to say they have a lot of work story writing wise, and again, we're gonna need these actors to understand like they got to pull back on their budget. Like, you know what I mean? Like if you're gonna get 300-400 plus actors, or not even that much, I might be over exaggerating, 100-150 big name actors of these characters. You can't be requesting Robert Downey Jr. $10 million for a 3-minute cameo.
Yeah.
Like, it's not gonna work. So
at this point, I'm just like, stop the live action. Give me all animated stuff. Because at that point, you have to pay the voice.
Animation's so good now.
Animation's really good, but you have to pay the voice actors money still, but not nearly as much as them for acting in it.
Dude, I didn't think about that.
And then the CGI is basically covering up for all the money that you would have done, but it's not going to be nearly as much for having the Endgame was millions of dollars worth of just bringing that cast together. If you CGI'd it, the CGI would be around the same budget, but you had to pay the actors less too, and you still would bring in money.
Interesting. I would have never thought the entirety of especially animated. Like big budget animation,
especially with Marvel Animations now.
That's what I was gonna say. If you can give me tier level Super Mario Bros, animation, that dude. In my honest opinion, that was a good fucking movie. Like
the animation was amazing,
just phenomenal. The colors are in the eyes, the backgrounds, everything was greatly done by Illumination Studios in I think UK. I think it's in UK if I'm not mistaken. So if they can give me that kind of animation, for MCU movies, I don't see it being wrong at all. It could be well done, honestly.
Oh yeah,
like, well done.
They can pull it off so good.
Interesting concept. I like that. I didn't think about that. Animated MCU.
I wouldn't mind it at all. Let DC have their run at live action now. Go. We're gonna flip the switch now.
We're gonna take a time. We're gonna take a time out. We're gonna let you have it now. But speaking of DC, a little bit of news on that. What is it? The Penguin. Who's playing the Penguin? Oh my goodness. He just came out to say that he was happy about it. He liked it. He was glad that what he did was good. But he was, by the end of the filming, he was bitching. Like he let the interviewer know, like, hey, I knew what I was getting into, but at the very end, that's all you heard me was complaining and wanting to get it done. You know what I mean? Like,
for the Batman movie?
Yeah, the Penguin or the series that the Penguin.
The Penguin series, yeah.
So he was like, because they asked him if he was gonna be gonna do it again for season 2, and he was like, I don't know, guys. Like, just by finishing this up, he's like, so and so did amazing with who was it that made the Batman? He's like, and then for me to get my own show, I felt amazing doing it and starting it, and was able to take that character to where it needed to be. He's like, but by the end of it, I was just done. He's like, the prosthetics, the thing, the fat suit, like Colin Farrell. So I was like, oh shit. So that was a trip to hear that he was, ready to get done.
Speaking of DC, and I completely messed up because I was supposed to talk to you about this before. Amazon has Batman: The Caped Crusader,
the animated series.
Yeah, have you watched it?
I haven't. I know HBO has a lot too of it, of all the Batman.
Well, no, Amazon's like, this is like brand new Batman.
Oh, new series?
Yeah.
No, I have not seen it then.
Yeah,
I thought you were talking about the animated series, Batman the animated series.
No, it's called Batman the Caped Crusader. It's like a brand new animated series.
No shit, I have not.
Only thing is though, I mean, if we ever do watch it, we could discuss it. But I do have some words with it because my wife started watching it, and then I was like, oh, I forgot this was even a thing.
Did they use the original Batman actor, voice actor? Because they said that he had enough to do or whatever.
He might have, but I'm not sure. I'm not even gonna pretend like I know.
Yeah, I remember Kevin. No, it's not Kevin Costner.
Not Kevin Costner.
What is his name?
We are checking right now because we are forgetful.
the Batman? Kevin Conroy.
No, this is Hamish Linklater.
Yep, that's the one I'm just looking at right now. But Kevin Conroy. That was the infamous one. Will Arnett did a good one for the Lego movie. Yeah, he was a good Batman.
I don't know how I feel all the way about it because they changed some characters, they changed certain things about it, and I'm just like, when I say they change characters, it's just like it's not very big, but it just kind of like small annoyances with me. And I know some people, I'm not one to care about like the whole you change this person's race or whatever, but they have Gordon, the commissioner. His family's all black in this series. And I know some people, I didn't read any comments or anything about it yet, but I know some people automatically like, oh, he's supposed to be. Yeah. And I was like, dude, the race doesn't matter to the character. They could be Indian for all I care. Like Chinese, like whatever. As long as they play the part right,
the character right,
I'm good. The part that bothers me is when you change the sex of a character.
Gender swap it?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm like, sometimes the gender swap doesn't matter, but sometimes it does. And then when you change some of the history behind certain characters, like Selena Kyle.
That's the Black Cat? Or
Catwoman, yeah. In this one, she's a thief, but she doesn't adopt like the cat costume and everything until after being like caught by Batman and everything. I was like, no, she had that beforehand.
She was a cat burglar.
Yeah. And she, is just, I don't know. It's just like this, it's interesting to watch, but at the same time, it's like, it does bring me some grievances enough to where I'm like, I kind of don't want to watch it.
It goes back to you're big about the blueprint. You know what I mean? You're huge, and you made me a believer on it. Like, it's so freaking true. Like, why? Like, what is so hard to follow what you have in your hand and just be like, oh, that sounds good, but this would make it better. Yep. But it's still this. It's still this. It's not like, hey, I'm gonna write a whole new movie. Screw that, Poison Ivy. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, I don't get it. I really understand your frustration with the fact that it's a blueprint. Follow it. You know what I mean? Like,
the biggest grievance I had was with Harley Quinn.
Oh God, what happened with this one? She's not a doctor.
She is a psychiatrist. Okay. She doesn't work in Arkham.
Where does she go?
She works in her own little firm.
Her own practice?
Yeah. And I was like, okay, whatever. She had to be something in order to go to Arkham. Right?
Got it.
She has a thing in there, and I know it's probably comic accurate somewhere along the line. I haven't, Harley ain't one of my favorites, so I don't dive into her that much. But somewhere along the line, I know she probably has this thing called the playpen, where she punishes people for, whatever she does. Like, oh, we need to change your behavior. But she's a psychiatrist who's like, oh, hey, we're going to change your behavior, so that she puts them in the playpen and, tortures them, basically, until they give up all their money. And these are, high-ranking people. They, give all their money to charity and do it, and then they start, kind of going insane.
Yeah.
I'm just like... And then she adopts this Harlequin outfit that doesn't look anything like Harley Quinn. It's, yellow and black. And then it's just it's odd. And I'm like, this,
and it's animated.
Yeah. I'm like, this isn't Harley Quinn.
Interesting.
Hashtag not my Harley Quinn. But it's just I'm like, I don't like the way this portrayal of her is. I'm like, she didn't change until the Joker. The Joker broke her. Without the Joker, you don't have Harley Quinn. But you have Harley Quinn, and I see no Joker.
Yeah.
What the hell? That's what bothers me so much. The Joker is the one it's like having Spider-Man, but he never got bit.
Yeah.
You just got these?
You just Spider-Man now?
You just climbing walls out of nowhere?
We got that with Tom Holland because they ixnayed the beginning, but yeah.
but he said I got bit by a spider. At least they betrayed. At least they did that. But I'm at this point, it's like somebody putting on a damn harness and then lassoing up a damn side of the wall and being like, I'm Spider-Man. How?
Yeah.
Where's your spider bite? Where's your webs? Like, you don't even have to have freaking Tobey Maguire's organic webs, which whole other thing. But I'm like, Spider-Man's create their own webs.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be smart enough to do that. Everything has an origin. Harley Quinn's origin was Joker. How do you have a Harley Quinn without this major character involved? And then have Batman, like, you know, of course, Batman's the greatest detective, still arguable compared to Flash. And you're having them find stuff and do whatever, and I'm like, okay, like it's just slightly annoying.
And again, I get it. We're not writers. I can't even like fake like I would know how to write a story or something like that. Yeah. But it goes back to just that main. There's literally we know where to go if given something. You know what I mean? Like the good thing is, again, all these have a blueprint. Go sit down. If Kevin Feige came up to me and was like, hey, I need a new Blade film, etc., laid it out to all the writers or whatever, here is the storyline that I'm trying to go with, stack of like 37 comics, you know what I mean? I would expect every single 30 people in that room to read every one of those comics.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
And then come back and be like, all right, let's build off of this comic line, or let's build off of this, and let's
let's combine like these 2 or 3 because these 3 actually are cohesive enough to make a full story.
Yeah, and I feel like they missed that part. Like they missed the lore. They get the name, and they're just like, oh, he was somewhat like he's like basically like how we are right now, just kind of like spitballing, you know, we know, but we don't know. We didn't go look into the comic.
They went Google searching.
Yeah, they went Google searching, and then they that's it. Like that's a multi-billion-dollar company. I'm pretty sure have the capability of getting every freaking comic that is 1 through 37, 1 through 16, 1 through whatever the arc is in the comic, and then they could build off of that comic.
I mean, their name is Marvel. If you can't get your own damn comics, there's a problem. There's a freaking problem, man. I know you're owned by Disney.
Stan Lee at that goddamn grave and get him to sign a contract saying Marvel Comics goes to Marvel Studios or something. Like, we need y'all to understand. Like,
you know what would be great and terrible at the same time?
What?
Marvel Zombies. But Stan Lee.
No. No. If they do, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. But that'd be insane.
Or at least like show a clip where he can't.
He like wakes up, you know, what am I doing here? Like,
you know, it'd be hilarious and a slap at Disney. But I think Marvel will be too afraid to do it. But it'll be a slap at Disney is if they couldn't like Stan Lee like tries to get out of his grave, but then he just turns over in his grave.
It shows a picture of Stan Lee and he just gets comfortable.
You see him right in his own dust, not my Marvel.
Oh god, that would be funny concept, man. I wonder what happened with that. We lost that. I don't think that's even a thing anymore, wasn't it? Next
Marvel
year or something?
Zombies?
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything else about it. So as far as we know, it's still in production, possibly. But
I don't know. Zombies. It's set to be released by Disney Plus and will consist of 4 episodes. Expected debuted in 2024. I don't think so. Yeah,
no.
Yeah, this is old news, I guess. But yeah, I know there was a talk about it. We haven't gotten deep into it.
Yeah.
But Marvel Zombies, that would be a good one too. Again, because we have now Marvel Animations.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. Marvel Animations, Marvel Studios, and Marvel Special Presentations, right?
I don't think it's maybe
something like that.
Yeah, because I think Special Presentation. No, I don't know, because I think it might be, but I'm like, it doesn't sound completely right, because Special Presentation was like for the one-off things.
Yeah, one-offs. Interesting. Marvel Studios, Marvel Animation, something else. But yeah, guys, a lot is coming out. So again, we have Agatha starting next week, September 18th on Wednesday at 6 p.m. Then we have Venom, The Last Dance, coming out on October 25th, 2024. So that'll be 5 days, the week before the finale of Agatha. So we'll be having a pretty good packed episodes those few days. And then that is it at the moment. So Agatha is our next venture. Venom, The Last Dance at October 25th. And we are still hot and heavy with My Hero at the moment. So we got about 15, 20 minutes.
Yep.
I'm down to talk a little bit about it. We went through the rumors. So again, guys, October 25th, Venom, The Last Dance. September 18th, Agatha All Along. Agatha All Along. September 18th. 2 episode premiere at 6 p.m. And yeah, stay tuned, guys, with us, and we'll definitely cover it. You are more than welcome to tune in, jump in the comments, and let us know what y'all think about the show. But on to My Hero with the 2-episode whopper that it dropped on me. I don't know how far we'll get into it, but we'll go with the first one. And again, we're going. I don't know. I might mix them up because it just like blended together. They're getting intense, guys. Like I'm on my edge of my seat. There is so much going on. All for One is just a ultimate planner in my head. Like right now, like he has thought of every concept. But right now, again, it's falling heavy on the power of will and friendship. Right now, it's really. That's where we're at right now, where it's kind of like the unrealism of the world is now coming into this play of this manga. So right now we got all our villains that, Deku came across in his villain arc or in his dark arc, and, where they're coming to help now, you know what I mean? Like now they're all seeing Deku, and Deku's the smile that he wants to see the world have, and everything. So that's where we're at right now. So we're on the losing end at the moment, but Orochako and Froppy come out through the portal. They chase Homegirl in through the portal. Dead Man's Parade is going on right now. Hawks is going at, there's so much going on, guys. So I might be jumping around, so follow me as best as you can. Kurogiri comes, and that's where we left off last time. Kurogiri ends up getting loose and like taking them to where they needed to go and like turning the tides of the battle. You're just sitting there, because you know what happens. I hate you, man. I hate you. And so I'm just tripping again. Dead Man's Parade, and then it's the power of friendship right now. So we got these 2 episodes showing Gentle Criminal and La Brava. These 2 characters came in like season 2, season 3-ish around there.
Was it that early?
It was super early, bro. I don't think it was during his dark arc.
It wasn't during his dark arc, but they came in after Eri, didn't they? Yeah, they came in after Eri.
After Eri? Okay,
yeah,
okay.
Because they were going to interrupt the show that she was having when they freed her, when they saved her, I believe.
Yep, that is right. So we get Gentle Criminal and La Brava. So Kurogiri throws off Eraserheads and that one kid's that he's using to use his powers. They throw him off. The dome starts falling. Shit's going crazy. Again, Dead Man's Parade is going both at the UA, Coffin in the Sky.
I can't do it. It's Sad Man's Parade.
Sad Man's? So it's Sad Man's Parade. What is something? It says something. It's something before it. Sad Man's Parade, doubles or something like that. I can't remember.
Like doubles something. Sad Man's Parade.
Yeah, I can't remember. But so he's going in UA, and he's going at the Gonga Valley where All for One and all them are at and stuff. And then so the Coffin in the Sky starts coming down, and that's when La Brava steps in. You see her come in, and you're like, "What the heck?" All the systems are starting to get hacked this dude that was being hacked. So she comes, and there was a cool little backstory to them. Like, so he was a hacker, and then so she hacked him back in the day because he was hacking and stealing stuff. And I guess he has like a phobia of a little kitty. So she does that back to him again. She's like, "Oh, it's you!" Like, oh, it was great. So La Bravo ends up out hacking the hacker that was, hacking the coffin in the sky, making it fall.
What's even more hilarious about that little thing though is because La Bravo's like, I would have thought you would have changed your back door by now. Like, you still have the same shit.
Yeah, same shit. She was calling his ass out. Like, it's the literal say, I knew it was you when I started coming in. Like, I was like, holy crap. And so La Bravo takes over, helps the coffin in the sky with the help of Gentle Criminal. And Deku sees Gentle Criminal and remembers, he's like, a trampoline, like what? And then his flashback came in again. So again, power of friendship and the love of being good has changed him. So back lore on Gentle Criminal, he was in jail. That was the only jail that got broken and no one escaped because Gentle Criminal kept them all in. Yeah. And for that fact, they let him out. Yeah, they were like, what do you want? Okay, yeah. I got you. Like, you know what I mean?
But he's like, I just want to help La Bravo out. That's all. I just want to be with her and help her out.
Because he loved her, right?
He loved her. Like, he genuinely cared. Yeah. And then she loved him back. So that's why they're like, cooperating and helping out Deku, because Deku allowed them to be like in prison, I think, like close by each other. Mm-hmm. So they're like, yo, he actually cared, even though he stopped us from doing what we wanted. Like, he was cool enough to kind of like still care about our love. Yeah.
So we get that. And power of love, power of friendship. So they get the coffin in the sky to start working again. But at the time we get Shigaraki as well. They're showing all One for All is talking to Deku, telling him like, hey, All for One and One for All are cohesive, so I can see what's going on in there. And Shigaraki's not One for All, like, or All for One. Yeah. Like, he's not allowed. The body is tied up. If you see, he's not moving, and then Deku's like, oh shit, like he isn't. Yeah. And so this is the time. But Deku at that point is running low on his thing. Apparently, he used Four's powers, gear shift. Is it two? Gear shift's powers, and I was using a lot of his energy and stuff. So he was immobile at that time as well. Well, then we get the whole, it goes somewhere else, and then it comes back, and then we get Shigaraki finally moving, and they're like tripping. They're like, oh, we cannot let this guy touch the ground. And then while we're talking about the power of friendship and stuff, next thing you know, blue, like just arm gets blasted off, and you're like, and I didn't think 2 and 2. It was just that unicorn horn, purple and pink. And I was like, who the hell shot that? Like, what? And then it showed Lady Nugget, with her elbow. And I was like, and then far the fuck away, bro. I was like, oh, shit. That was dope. And so then it went through her backstory, showing the same thing that, Deku, could have took her out, chose not to. Told her that he wanted to do right by the world, and that just changed her concept, like made her realize like what I truly became a hero for. Yeah. It wasn't for what All for One was wanting me for. It was for the genuine love of protecting the people. Yeah. So that was intense. She shoots his hands off, both of those hands, and then Deku takes advantage, drives them out of the coffin in the sky, because he's like, yo, there's too many people in here now that he can take out, because Eraser and Might Guy went into not Might Guy, but the Mike Guy. Went into Kurogiri's portal. And they're now, I don't know where they went. I don't think it showed where they went.
I don't think so.
Not at this time, no. So they disappear. So that was Deku's thought concept, was like, yo, I got to get him off this coffin, because all of Momo and all of them were in there making the coffin. So he blasts them out of the coffin, and then now that's it on the Shigaraki finally tells All for One, I'm not for it. Like, you've tried, you've manipulated me, you used the fact that I knew All Might and the predecessor to All Might. They were related, I guess, or something like that. That he was related to her.
Shigaraki's the granddaughter of the previous user.
Yeah, so he used that. All for One made his hatred, and so he goes on to explain this. and then again it shows All For One fighting like in this body, and that part was so sick. All the fingers come out like, and then his mouth starts tearing apart. Like, oh, I was like, this is some animation right here. So I was like, so they step it up a little bit. He rips out. He's like, you're not gonna take me. And then at that point, Shigaraki. Like there was no All For One fighting for the body at that point. And I think Deku realized that. But took him out, and then we go back to the Gunga villa, and Hawks is doing work, man. Like the part that got me was he was going after All For One, and All For One was like, you don't give up or something like that. And he turns around and he like snaps. And like the scene that they show is his body's gone. Like it's just showing this part of Hawks. And it was like, and Tsukuyomi, is that his name? The bird guy. So Tsukuyomi is like just in shock. they did the comedic relief that made me realize it wasn't real. So it shows Tsukuyomi like, whoa, what the, and his body, and then it's like like a little like animation is like, oh man, I got hit or something like that. I should have washed out or something. And then I guess he was in shock, but the second high school that they go against in the games shows up. All them hard asses show up. The wind guy, the captain guy, all them. So then that was dope. So when they showed up, it turned the tides. We had Toya freaking blowing up the blue flames, but the wind was calming them down. They were using all their powers. It was great. It was a good culmination of that. And then the best part was like, again, the coming up to the very end where All For One's talking about like darkness and like being a part of the darkness and like grew whatever, and then you get freaking that the demon bird that Tsukuyomi controls. Now he's like, there's different types of darkness, and it had like, again, you read the manga on the show, it had like this demon voice like that they use as the voice, like overcoming, like, so it's Tsukuyomi talking, but that demon voice is over it. I was like, dude, that's some editing right there. And so he's talking about how there's different types of darkness, and it showed the little, when they were kids, and the little shadow, and he's a little bird, and like they're growing up together and stuff, and then like just right there, it was the dark abyss, light of obsidian or something like that. That was the final move, and like that's even All For One sensed something, like it stopped him in his tracks. He's like, I felt this before somewhere, and I don't know what I felt. And it showed a flashback of, I think, All Might with All For One, and then it freaking just that move, and it just slams him into the ground, and it left us like that again. It left us in a super hanging mode, and I was like, for 2 episodes, that was a lot. Again, you're saying we're coming to the end. How close with that now? Like, are we like? Because I'm scared, man. Like right now, All For One looking pretty bad, bro.
Honestly, like, I'm like, they could finish this out. They could finish this out this season. Like this could be the end season. I don't know if it was confirmed to be or not. But if they don't, I'm like, y'all really pulling hard to make this last, because this is like, there was 430 chapters, I think, in the manga. You're already at like
400,
like 390, 400. Like you're getting there, and you could put so many, especially with fighting chapters. You can put so many chapters into one.
Yeah, right now the preview was Gigantomachia is about to come, so that's the he said in the previews, he's like, it all looks bad, but it's still not the worst that it can get, or something like that. I was like, excuse me, and at the very end, he's like, that looked really bad, and it still gets worse, or it has more to come, or so. I was just like, oh my goodness!
I can't wait for you to see next coming episodes, only because I know what's happening, and I want that. Like, you're like, what? I can't wait to get your text. That's all I'm waiting for.
I don't even know who could come in at this point. Lemillion's in the coffin in the sky. Freaking the 3 are down. Freaking Bunny Girl's knocked out on a tree. Fucking Best Genius is holding on to dear life, holding his like head straight because Bakugo's dead, or dying, and then we have a Eraser and a Mike guy that went somewhere. The Kurogiri started losing it when someone said protect Shigaraki, but Shigaraki didn't want to do all for one or something like that. But so then I don't know what happened.
It's kind of like a scramble.
Yeah, so he's like friends and this and that. So that was a pretty interesting part. What is that like? So he's still. Help me understand Kurogiri again. So Kurogiri is Mike and Eraserhead's friend. Was stolen and was thought to be dead. All for one got him. Was that guy's power always Kurogiri's power, that like being able to transport, or was that power given to him by All for One?
It was given to him by All for One, if I remember correctly, or it might have been enhanced by All for One.
Okay.
But Kurogiri is basically a Black Nomu, but with their friend as a base. Which is why he's able to do human speech and like able to do certain things a lot better. This Nomu wasn't given like a bunch, like experimenting on crazily. It was there for one purpose, to defend Shigaraki.
So then, for Shigaraki to go against All for One and All for One to ask Kurogiri to take out Shigaraki.
Now it's a conflict of interest.
Because he doesn't want to be with
one way, but I'm settled in my friendship way too. So now you're telling me to disobey my rules, but my rules also made me fall in love with the person I have. So it's just that conflict.
Ooh, yeah, because that was tough. That was a pretty interesting concept that they brought right there. You could see the old friend in the shadow of Kurogiri and stuff. So even Kurogiri's like short circuiting at that moment. He's like, Shigaraki, friends, like like what the fuck, like what do you need me to do, like So it was pretty crazy. So I'm ready, dude. Deku, I don't know how much time he's got. Again, the way that he made it seem was like that was like a one for all shot, like the second gear, or whatever.
Well, because you have to with gear shift, you have like a 5-minute cooldown. But 5 minutes against Shigaraki, especially the way he is right now, you ain't lasting. Like that, and it takes so much out of you for gear shift too, because to be able to control inertia is not something technically possible. You're breaking the laws of physics.
Gotcha.
So you're gonna take some feedback with it.
Gotcha. You're gonna get
you're gonna get messed up.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, guys, that was the quickest I've ever discussed the show, but it was jumbled together. Again, it was the power of friendship in these main shows, showing that through Deku's ventures, he gained friendships from villains that are now turning the tides of this war, because now they're starting to see All for One is literally just for himself.
He's for one.
Yeah, for one. Like, it was never in his intention to make them better or do better by them or anything or enhance them or whatever. It was for his sole purpose to gain their power, one, because he can only gain their power of the original body of the person he touches. I believe that he was explaining that on the show, and then something else, So, it was, again, using him for his own gain.
Yeah.
But let's see what, that was very key, because All Might said that to them, and that is why Tsukuyomi uses his shadow to hit All for One, because he can't take the power of the shadow. He has to touch
the physical body.
The physical body.
Yeah.
So like the lassos and all that. It says you can't the feathers. You can't get any powers from that. You have to touch the body of the user. So far everyone's aware of that. Hawks hasn't gotten any closer or anything like that. He's been staying as far as he possibly can. Again, when that second school ended up saving him, I didn't say that. So someone sent something. It looked like a thumb. I think it was. I don't know what it was. Like, it was in front of his body. It took the blow that All for One sent to Hawks and basically saved him. But it's getting intense, guys. This I'm on my edge of my seat. Both episodes were like, again, badass. They're doing good by the animation now. I think not as dark still. There could be more blood, I would assume. But like earphone Jack, her ears bleeding. She's got a whole bloody face. Hawks is all bucked. I mean, so they're really showing the colors on the show now. So again, don't know manga. Maybe if I see manga or whatever. But yeah, so they're at the very end, right before to let y'all go. they let us know that this battle is weighing heavy on emotions.
Mm-hmm.
So they can pull Toga's emotions. They think they can take her out of the equation because she was in love and that wasn't who she really was.
Yeah.
So Froppy's like running these concepts in her head right now, like, yo, she's running off emotions. This is like a boiling point.
Yeah.
We may be able to, you know, turn the tides if we can play the strings right. You know what I mean? So again, how that ties into Ganchiomakia that's coming, like I don't know, because now he's asleep somewhere and I don't remember where. He's incapacitated with like a thing or whatever, and if I remember correctly, it's like the, you know, sniff of the hand that would just happen with Kurogiri.
Oh, yeah.
It's the voice of Sugar Rocky that activates him, right?
Yeah.
So, well, we're screwed, guys. All I know is that thing went on a rampage. Don't know what's gonna happen, but yeah, guys. We will definitely talk more about that next week. I think we covered everything. The only thing I didn't cover was Demon Slayer. So we talked about it right before the show started. Tune in again, December 22nd, 2024. They will be making an announcement about the Demon Slayer movies. We talked about that on the show. We're super stoked about that. We'll see what the announcement is. Maybe 1-2-part movie, maybe 3-part movie, maybe all movie. Who knows? I'm excited. We'll see what we get. It's coming December 22nd. And then again, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed the show. We had nothing but rumors today. Tune in next week. We might have more, you know, due to the trailers that are coming out and everything. Right. And then again, next week will be Agatha. We'll touch some Agatha. We'll talk some news, and if My Hero comes out with some more episodes, we'll definitely talk some My Hero.
Yeah, definitely.
But that's all we got today, guys. We had fun. We will see y'all next weekend at our new time again, 2 to 4 or 2-ish to 4. And we'll see y'all then.
Emphasis on the ish.
Ish, big capitals with, you know, parentheses. But thank you guys. We'll see y'all then. Y'all be safe. Have a good week.
Thank y'all.